Let's activate this. 55k, 48k, 54k, 45k. I can't even number anymore. Guys flying in at me, whatever. 50k to these big wolf boys. Arataki Itto coming in, and he's still hitting. He's hitting, he's slapping people. Very nice, good damage. We're here to settle the score. Who's gonna be better, Noelle or Arataki Itto? They are better at different things. One's gonna be better at damage, the other one's gonna be better at utility. One's gonna have better range. One might fit your playstyle better than the other one. Maybe you're thinking about wanting that big raw Geo DPS, and you're looking at Arataki Itto, you're looking at a lot of videos out there, and you're like, this guy is a monster. And yeah, he is a monster. And only monsters comb their hair like that. Have you seen The Walking Dead? You know of Lucille? Who else is out there combing their hair all the time? I don't know. You take a guess. Then we also have Noelle, who can heal your party and do a lot of damage as well, and actually has a 4-star character that's going to make her even better in the future, who's exceptionally easy to build. We might even get for free, which is the character, the one and only Yunjin in Genshin Impact. So who are we going to use? The big old maid Noelle or the gang boss Arataki Itto? Damage, healing, range, sustainability, who does what and what matters the most? Now these two characters have one extreme thing in common, and that is their elemental bursts. However, even their elemental bursts have a couple of differences. So elemental burst for Noelle and Arataki Itto, right? They have that defense to attack scaling ratio, and they infuse you with geo damage. They also have different durations though. So the duration here on Arataki Itto C0 is 11 seconds, whereas Noelle's initial duration is 15 seconds. However, if you have that C6 Noelle lying around, her elemental burst is going to get additional time every time you defeat an enemy. You can add up to additional 10 seconds, which means you can have her elemental burst active for 25 seconds on a single cast. Arataki Itto also is different than this because if you leave the battlefield with his elemental burst active, it is gone. Noelle can freely swap in and out to your other characters during that up to 25-second duration of her elemental burst. So if you don't want to have that ability to just stay in there and you are forced to stay into a character and do all of your damage with that Q active, you want the ability to freely swap, use some other skills, come back in, do some damage with your Geo character, then Noelle is going to be a little bit more accessible to that sort of gameplay style. And that's really the one thing that they really share in common. The other things that make them very different are a couple of things. Arataki Itto is very charge attack focused, does a couple of normal attacks, throws out his elemental skill to gain stacks of superlative super strength, superlative super strength, super laxative super strength. Anyway, this makes him do a ton of charge attack damage, whereas Noelle is gonna be very normal attack focused because her charge attack is the basic spinning around. You only really want to use this charge attack on Noelle if you're surrounded by millions of enemies. You need that full 360 damage going on with this character. The differences don't end there though. Noelle can actually shield and heal, whereas the only defensive utility Arataki Itto has is from his elemental skill, the little ox boy that comes out and is going to taunt enemies for a little while. You've seen this with stuff like Amber's doll or Ganiu's feathers or, you know, Mona's little illusion. It's going to work just like those, and that's kind of the only utility he really has for your party there, whereas Noelle can be your shielder and your healer, especially with the new Husk of Opulent Dream set. Both of them are going to be geared the same way when you gear them for a DPS. Using this set, aiming for crit chance, crit damage, defense percent sands, crit something circlet, geo damage goblet, all of that stuff. They're going to be geared the same exact way, and they're trying to accomplish the same exact goal. Do as much damage as possible. The difference here in Noelle's case, though, is that she's not just doing damage, she's just healing and shielding at the same time. Whereas Arataki Itto is going to be doing about 30-ish% more damage when equally geared at C0 compared to a Noelle at C6 when talking about fighting against single target enemies. Noelle, though, does have one big thing, in that her range is absolutely larger than Arataki Itto's because she pulls out the Master Sword, extends it beyond all belief, and just starts wildly swinging on enemies everywhere on the battlefield. Another slight difference between Arataki Itto and Noelle is the team compositions that you kind of want to make with them. Noelle can sort of be your healer shielder, and they both want to work with Geo characters. They're both fantastic with Albedo and Goro for those triple Geo teams. However, if your team is Arataki Itto, Albedo, and Goro, you're going to need someone out there to heal, especially if you're doing some of the high tier Abyss. You have the new debuffs on you that damage you over time. You can't take them off, which is very easy to supplement this with someone like Diona or someone like Bennett out there. You could even use Jean as a healer and get in there and do a bunch of cool stuff that way. Whereas Noelle, you can fully utilize her with Goro and Albedo, and then maybe throw in like the Electro Traveler for sustain on your energy burst for your different characters, or the Raiden Shogun. And you're kind of free to just put whatever flex pick you want in with a Noelle team, where Arataki Itto really wants to utilize a healer slash shielder character because he can't do that himself. It's not a drawback, it's just a difference in your playstyle and your team and what sort of teammate you're looking for to fulfill that fourth spot between these two characters. Noelle is also slightly easier to play, where Arataki Itto, he has this superlative, super strength mechanic here where you want to get, 5 stacks to your charge attacks, get everything grouped up together, and do it all within that 11-second window. Whereas if you have Noelle at C6, you have up to 25 seconds to freely swap in and out your characters. You have a long reach. She's your shielder, she's your healer, and her gameplay style really is just spam the attack button to just swing that lightsaber everywhere, and is far easier to play than Arataki Itto. If you're looking to maximize your gameplay experience and your damage in one character and shore up those weaknesses somewhere else, Arataki Itto is going to be doing more damage for you. Matter if you're using the white ball, the stripper spine, the good old red horn stone thresher, he's going to do more damage, whereas Noelle's going to do less damage, but also have that shielding and that healing component, and also is going to be a little bit easier for you to play and pick up if you have her at C6. Definitely check her out if you don't want to pull for Arataki Itto and you have her laying around. She still is going to do significant amount of damage for you out there, and I think you'll be surprised, especially since the Huss set came out in the red horn stone thresher, the serpent spine, or the white blind, you have those on your account, how much she's really going to be able to do for you in your account. I mean, she kind of just cleanly sweeps up all of Genshin now. I don't know, I kind of close my eyes, she makes me a worse player. Oh, let's get this party started. They called you useless. It's 2.3 now. We're trying to compare just how far away you are from a 5-star character. Let's check this out. Let's activate this. 55k, 48k, 54k, 45k, I can't even number anymore. Guys flying in at me, whatever. 50k to these big wolf boys. And we have a pretty long duration elemental burst. We've killed 3 enemies with her burst active, so it's a 18-second window here. We're gonna throw this down, throw this back down, Raiden Shogun's here. And we've also shielded through a lot of damage. Raiden Shogun's doing her thing. Boop, 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 boop. And Noelle is ready to rock and roll again. Throw this down, throw this back down. And this is kind of overkill, but let's just go. And we've healed our team back up to full through, these wolves drain HP mechanics, the bleeds, whatever it's called. It's just that easy. We just kind of went to sleep and took a nap and woke up, and Arataki Itto's here to solo the next round. Now we're gonna do the Itto squad. He's a little bit lower level. He's still only 70, but he's still gonna be doing tons of damage to these enemies here. We don't have the ability to kind of run like a high energy regen. Goro's in a different build. He's not the typical energy regen build that one would see him in. Typically, if you haven't seen that video, check it out. So he does do a little bit of damage. And then we're just gonna kind of get in here. We're gonna play inside Bennett's circle like always. Arataki Itto coming in, and he's still hitting. He's hitting, he's slapping people. Very nice, good damage. Then this aura's gonna wear off. We're gonna get a couple more stacks from this guy, and we're gonna need to build him back up real quick because we don't have sort of like a high energy regen character for Arataki Itto. So we're gonna come back over here, and he generates a fair amount of energy. That's the other thing that separates him too. He's a pretty good battery for himself. He's almost ready to go again. So we just need to get Bennett's ult back up and ready to rock and roll here. So as long as you have like a good battery for Itto, which he's pretty decent for himself, right? This right here, boom. We could just drop Goro's thing here. Okay, cool. We're gonna go in ham now. Drop this, pop, go into our burst. Got 4 stacks of the thing. Boom, pop, slap, 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 slap. That guy over there, I wish he was getting cleaved by us right now, but he's not, which is pretty sad because we'd be able to hit them both. Now, if we were playing Noelle, we probably actually would have been hitting the other wolf the entire time because that's how insane her range is. But, I mean, what can you say here? Throw this up, back again, absorb those particles, and he's got a pretty easy rotation to maintain. Pretty easy. If he was like higher level, these would be doing 50, 60, 70 a hit. Not bad at all.